Hi students, welcome to yet another session of my class. We are discussing the poem A Dog Has Died by Pablo Neruda. Let us continue the poem. First of all, I read the lines, then I will explain you. No, my dog used to gaze at me, paying me the attention I need, the attention required to make a vain person like me understand that being a dog he was wasting time, but with those eyes so much purer than mine, he would keep on gazing at me with a look that reserved for me alone. All his sweet and shaggy life, always near me, never troubling me, and asking nothing. No, my dog used to gaze at me. In the previous stanza, we were discussing the qualities of his pet dog. That means his dog is much different from the other dogs. And here, yes, again, the poet is continuing expressing his feeling and he remembers those good days with his dog. Pablo is, that is, our poet is just talking about what his dog used to do and how good he felt when his dog looked at him. My dog used to gaze at me. That is always, yes, used to gaze at me, staring at me, or made him feel adored, paying me the attention I need. I get enough attention from my dog, what I needed. He gave me that his dog gave him enough attention that what he needed. That means he is always loyal to his master. My dog used to gaze at me, paying me the attention I need. That means his dog was not like other dogs, and that his friendship for the poet was unconditional, and he was always loyal to his master. The attention required to make a vain person like me understand. Yes. Then he, yes, the attention required to make a vain person like me understand that being a dog, he was wasting time. But with those eyes so much purer than mine, he would keep on gazing at me. The lines to make a vain person like me understand that being a dog, he was wasting time. That suggests that, unlike human beings, dogs live in the present and therefore are incapable of any type of vanity. And human beings are always bonded with several duties and responsibilities in life. However, dog is free from all bondages. He is always happy and lives in the present. Yes, the attention required to make a vain person like me, that is, he helped me to understand, to enjoy the present moment. Like dogs live in the present and therefore are incapable of any type of vanity in the case of dogs. But his eyes are much purer than mine. Yes, this dog's eyes are much purer than this poet. And he is always happy and lives in the present. And he would keep on gazing at me with a look that reserved for me alone. All his sweet and shaggy life, always near me, but never troubling me. Yes, he always kept a, yes, feeling or unconditional love towards his master with a look that reserved for me alone. Yes, he used to gaze at him, and that look that is purely reserved for his master alone. All his sweet and shaggy life, always near me, that is, he is always spending his time near to me and never troubling me, never irritated me, never troubling me, and asking nothing from me. And just look at the lines, students, then I will explain you. How many times have I envied his tail as we walked together on the shores of the sea, in the lonely winter of the Isla Negra, where the wintering birds filled the sky, and my hairy dog was jumping about, full of the voltage of the sea's movement. My wandering dog sniffing away with his golden tail held high, face to face with the ocean's spray. Joyful, 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 as only dogs know how to be happy, with only the autonomy of their shameless spirit. How many times have I envied his tail? I don't know. How many times I spent time with him, or I envied his tail. Tail usually is a symbol of the dog's inner emotional self. And yes, they are on the beach. The situation here is, I don't know how many times have I envied his tail as we walked it together. That is, yeah, now he remembers the time they spent together on beach as we walk it together on the shores of the sea. And usually we know that there's a tail. The tail is a symbol of dog's inner emotional self. That is expression of dog's love towards his master. In the lonely winter of Isla Negra. That is, here the dog expresses her innocent love towards his master, and the dog is happy, whatever the circumstances. He doesn't matter what is the situation or what is the season here. And here in the from the third line itself, we can understand that poet is conscious about the season, circumstances that is surrounding him in the lonely winter of Isla Negra. That means we all are bonded with some other activities or some circumstances or some duties or responsibilities. That is the part of human being. That is, but the dog is happy whatever the circumstances. This dog is does not give much or due importance to the season or the circumstances that is surrounding him. The dog is happy. The poet implies that the same does not necessarily apply to him. That innocent happiness of dog, that does not necessarily applies to the poet himself, because we are always conscious about our life, our present situations, our surroundings, our circumstances, our bondages, our duties and responsibilities. But in the case of dog, he is always happy, and he is always express his innocent love towards his master. And this is suggested that the the dog's present happiness, that is suggested in the third line, that is, in the lonely winter of Isla Negra. The words lonely winter, that sums up Neruda's feelings about the nature of the place in this season of the year. And the dog is oblivious to such matters. That is, dog doesn't matter about the season or the situation, circumstances that is surrounding him. Where the wintering birds filled the sky. Yes, here the poet is describing those days when they spent in the seashore, where the wintering birds filled the sky and my hairy dog was jumping about, full of the voltage. That means jumping about with full of energy, vigor, and happiness of the sea's movement. My wandering dog sniffing. Sniffing means is draw air audibly through the nose. That is, try the smell of. Yes, my wandering dog sniffing away with his golden tail held high. That shows his, yes, that expression of happiness, that inner emotion that he is expressing through his tail, with his golden tail held high, face to face with the ocean spray. That is, the poet remembers how much he experienced that happiness when they spent together in the shore of the sea. He remembers those good old days that he spent with his pet dog. Joyful, joyful, joyful. As only dogs know how to be happy. Yes, maybe because of this reason why the poet is so caught up with the death of his dog. That's why he experienced good days with his dog. That's why he is caught up with the death of his dog. And that is because his dog has helped him come to realize the little joys in life. Yes, the dog helped him to understand the little joys in his life, and that realizing the present happiness is what is most important. Not think about the future or other things or something like that. The present happiness. And that what we studied in the other poem, that is in the previous poem, that is Prayer in Spring by Robert Frost. Robert Frost also asks readers to enjoy the present moment. And here also from the, yes, happiness of dog, or yes, the poet is caught up with the death of his dog, and it is because his dog has helped him, his pet dog has helped the poet to come to realize the little joys in life, and that realizing the present happiness is what is most important. That only dogs know how to be happy with only the autonomy of their shameless spirit. Only that we all are bonded with some other duties. Human beings, we are always yielded to some other responsibilities, are yielded to the, yes, bondage of life. But only dogs know how to be happy with only the autonomy. That is, their mind is free, innocent. There is no bondage. Never bonded to any type of such responsibilities or consciousness, conscience of mind, something like that. That is, he enjoys the present moment, and the poet realized that happiness, that joy is little happiness in life, that realization, that is what is most important according to the poet. Now I think all of you understand this particular poem. What is this poem about? And a dog has died is a textbook example of an elegy. I already told you this particular poem is considered as an elegy. Elegy, in the sense, the elements of a traditional elegy mirror three stages of loss here in this particular poem. First, there is a lament. The poem starts with the poet lamenting on the death of his dear dog, where the speaker expresses grief and sorrow in the first part. That is the first stage. Then praise and admiration of the idealized dead. Then he tried to praise the qualities and try to idealize the his pet dog. That is the second stage. And finally, consolation and solace. That is the three stages he tried to express in this particular poem. First, the poem starts with the lamenting. That is where the lamenting tone, that is pure elegiac tone, that is the speaker expresses grief and sorrow. Then, yes, the tone of the mood of the tone of the poem is slowly changed. That is from, yes, from that lamenting to praise. Then praise and admiration of the idealized dead. And finally, consolation and solace. And Pablo Neruda, in essence, skips the first step of the elegy. That is, a simple statement replaces the lament, much as a materialist might respond emotionally on the subject of a death of this kind. The first stanza itself, he emphasized that he was a materialistic person. So he skips the first step of the elegy. A simple statement replaces the lament, much as a materialist might respond emotionally on the subject of a death of this kind. And moving forward, Neruda chooses to first remember the dog as he is. Yes, first in the first stanza, he tried to express the negative qualities. That is, first he remembers the dog as he is. Then he is initially descriptive. But these descriptions begin to carry the weight of praise. Then slowly that tone is changed to praise. That is, he is praising and he remembers the good qualities of his pet dog. He is talking fondly about the dog. And he talks that his dog is, yes, not other dogs. His dog was not like other dogs. And this easily qualifies for the praise and admiration, though it builds from objective recognition to glorification. Finally, Neruda goes back to his own mindset and worldview. He is consoled by the fact that his dog is gone and buried. That is the last stage. That is What is that? There are no goodbyes for my dog who has died. Yes, at the last part, this is the, yes, consolation. Finally, consolation and solace. There are no goodbyes for my dog who has died. I did not say any goodbye or farewell to. There are no goodbyes. Farewell to my dear dog, for my dog who has died. And we don't now and never did lie to each other. Yes, my dog passed away, or my dog had gone, and we don't now and never did lie to each other. So now he has gone and I buried him. Finally, Neruda goes back to his own mindset and worldview and he is consoled. That is the last stage, consolation and solace. My dog has gone. So I buried him, and that's all there is to it. That is, his dog is gone and buried him. And that is all there is to it. These are the three stages of the poem. First in the elegiac tone, then praising, and last stage is finally consolation and solace. I think all of you understand this particular poem. Uh, there is a homework for you, and the homework is write a critical appreciation of the poem A Dog Has Died. Write your homework and send back to me. There may be important in the last year or last years, university questions may be university questions are asked from this particular poem. And the 1 mark question is, in what language was Neruda's poem originally written? And the second question is, a dog has died as an elegy. That what we discussed here. A dog has died as an elegy. That is a 2 mark question. Then another 1 mark question is, who has a shaggy coat? Who has a shaggy coat? His pet dog. His pet dog has a shaggy coat. That is in 1 mark. I think all of you understand this particular poem and write your homework. That is, write a critical appreciation of the poem and send back to me. Write your homework. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you again.